I'm Seth Cox with Mount Olympus Gym, and I'm going to be discussing jerk variations, split jerk versus power jerk. So the first thing I want to discuss with the jerk variation is hand placement. Most people can go put their grip in between the outside ring and where the knurling ends. They can start there for starters, and then kind of adjust over time once they see where their shoulder mobility is. So from here, we want to be back on our heels. Elbows slightly at about a 45-degree angle. We don't want elbows all the way down, and we don't want elbows straight out. This creates right here a good position to send the bar back behind the head, and you can actually put a little more torque on the bar where you're kind of tight through your MCL joint on your elbow. So from here, we want to bend at the knee like this and go. Now notice that when I bend my knees, my entire torso stays upright. So this movement is all we're doing. I'm not going like this. And two, with foot placement, you can kind of see when I do it. Notice that my forward foot toe is turned slightly in, and my back foot is turned slightly in. Turn the feet in to create stability in the lower body. Also, you turn the back foot in because if the back foot turns out and weight is pushing down, you're at more risk for blowing out this MCL ligament back here. Feet should be slightly further apart on the jerk too. We don't want to go very narrow because it's less stable position. So now I'll discuss where my feet should be in relation to how far out, how far back, what should be bent. So when I go out with my jerk, I'm sending the bar up. So front foot, tibia is slightly back from 90 degrees, and my back foot is slightly bent. You don't want to go. You don't want to go all the way back like this, because then you're just going to fall backwards like this. This is your balancing leg. This is where the load stays with it. So this leg stays at 90 degrees or less bend, because if there's more than 90 degrees bend, it puts too much load on that patellar tendon, and over time you can build up a lot of inflammation in it, or at worst, rupture it.
I'm Tim, this is Leroy from Mount Olympus, and we're going to show you the pull-up. Now, the pull-up is a multi-joint exercise that focuses on the stability and strength of your shoulder girdle. Now, this is vital for athletes because whether you're a baseball player, or swimmer, or rower, you're going to be using your shoulders a lot. Now, putting this in the weight room, you're going to strengthen your shoulder girdle to prevent injuries. So the overall function of the pull-up is applicable to almost all athletes, throwing or anything of that sort. It's going to be applicable to. Now, the muscles involved, you got a ton. You're going to have when you have shoulder adduction, you're going to contract your lats. Elbow adduction, you're going to contract your biceps. You even have your abdominals and your obliques, keeping your body rigid with your erector spinae. You're also going to have your teres minor, major, and your infraspinatus, all your sits muscles, building up that rotator cuff strength. The main point of this is that there's a ton of muscles involved in this one movement. If you can master this one movement, then you'll be in good shape overall body. All right, so now we're going to show you some of the techniques. So first things first, you're going to want to keep your shoulders about shoulder width apart, your arms shoulder width apart. Now, I mean, you can play with this a little bit, depends on what you feel comfortable with. You're going to want to bring your chest to the bar. It activates more of your lats and your rear delts. You want to keep your whole body straight throughout the entire range of motion, trying to avoid any kind of swaying to help give you momentum towards the motion. And also, on the way down, you're going to have your concentric motion, or your eccentric motion, and that's going to work some of your pectoralis major and minor. Now, some variations we're going to talk about is the clapping pull-ups. This focuses primarily on explosiveness and power. So you're going to keep the same form that you would your regular pull-up, arm shoulder width apart, and as you bring your chest to the bar, you're going to want to explode up and clap your hands. This focuses more on the power for the athlete and can translate better on the field. So the next variation we have is going to be the wide grip pull-ups. Now this is almost the same as the normal grip, but your arms are going to be farther out wide. Now this creates more of a joint angle, so you need to generate more force to overcome that torque. As you can see, Leroy has great form with the wide grip pull-ups. Another form that we're going to show is the supinated, or your regular chin-ups. Now this is the same as your regular pull-ups, but your arms, instead of your hands being overhand, it's going to be underhand. This isn't used as much because with your regular pull-ups, you can generate up to twice the velocity. So with the explosive movements, you're definitely going to want to keep with the pull-ups.
Hi, I'm Mackie Boyle with Mount Olympus Gym, and we're going to be going over some push-up variations today, mainly with increasing velocity in your arm movements. So, working on fast twitch muscle fibers with like your pecs and tris, your delts, all that kind of stuff. So, this would be useful for baseball, volleyball, boxing, like things that have fast arm movements. So let's get started. All right, so normal push-up position, back flat, hips up, hands a little bit wider than normal, just to give yourself a little bit more room, and we're gonna do the clap push-ups first. So let's go down, flat back, clap. All right, next we're gonna do slap your chest, and it's a little bit more tricep work because you're bringing the angle into your arms to slap your chest. So let's get those down, same position, back flat, feet together. All right, so this, just a variation, make it a little tougher. Set up some boxes or some steps, whatever you got. And same thing, velocity of the movements, but you're alternating from the floor up to the box. So. All right, and same deal here, just a different variation, giving yourself a decline, make it a little harder and really give you a lot less time to catch yourself from the push. And you can do claps or chests or whichever you want to do. Same posture though.